Home can be a lot of different places. My childhood home in Oslo, my current home many decades later on a peninsula right outside Oslo, or my maternal grandparents' house where I spent all my summers and school holidays growing up. Nature can be home too, and not just any kind of nature, but if you are like me, specific kind of nature or landscapes. You tend to prefer some over others. Maybe you love the forest more than the open sea, or the sea more than the forest, or you love open agricultural areas, farm areas, more than tall mountains. Cities, perhaps, more than fjords, or the other way around. Maybe you like many types of landscapes or just don't care as long as it is nature. This summer I went back to some of the places that feels home to me, to reconnect with family and to the nature and landscapes that once molded me and that I perpetually long for. The landscape of who I once was and who I still am. In an attempt, I guess, to not only reconnect to the people and places, but also to rewire myself. Because over the last few years, both my work, especially, and things in my private life, uprooted a few things, and I am in the midst of some kind of transitional phase that needs, well, rewiring of some sort. I used to do this journey every summer to visit family, so this train line between Oslo and Åndalsnes has many memories to me. The best part is, however, the very last part of the train line Raumabanen, after you pass Bjorli and go down towards Åndalsnes. Those last 30 minutes or so are heart-wreckingly beautiful. Whenever I pass through this valley by car, I always have to stop, because I need to just stand under these mountains for a while. There is something ancient and almost sacred about these mountains for me. Like they are living beings and I can feel their presence in my very soul.
Da kjører vi straks inn til Åndalsnes, som blir togets siste stopp. Og vi får avstigning til venstre. Før du forlater toget, vær vennlig å ta en titt rundt det, så du får med alt av bagasje og personlige eiendeler.
I was staying at my uncle's, my mom's brother, in the house that they both grew up in and that my grandfather once built. Except I insisted on staying in the boathouse this time for the first few nights. I had brought some of my new hiking gear with me, like a new sleeping bag and a sleeping pad that I wanted to try out. It wasn't quite outside camping, but still. I had decided that I wanted to hike up this mountain close to the house. I think the last time I went up there must have been 25 or even 30 years ago. I can't quite remember, but me and my cousins used to hike this mountain a lot in my childhood and youth. Of course, we were in a bit better shape back then. Yes, I think I took the steepest path up. I think there are at least two, and that I took the most difficult one, and I'm not sure if it is wise to go down the same way without my hiking poles. I don't have them with me, but it is starting to clear up with the trees, and this is the first time, almost falling backwards, I can see the top between the trees over there. Yay. I'm soon over the tree line. Okay, I'm a little confused because why is this stick blue and not red? What does that mean? Am I walking on a blue path suddenly? Weird. And then another blue one, but it seems to be leading up to the top, so now I'm following blue. Getting there slowly in my own pace. And hoping to reach the top before the rain sets in. Right now it's sunny, but the weather forecast said it was gonna start raining later today. As soon as I got over the trees, I finally felt like I could breathe. This is more my kind of landscape. Rocks, wind, and open landscapes. And I think I came up here more on the side of the mountain. And according to my memory, 30 years ago, we went more on the middle of the mountain up. I think we got up here and went like this. That I always walked that kind of route. And there was a track over there. I'm not sure if it's there anymore. But now I have to get on the top. Up we go, and there is a ferry down there. I'm guessing it is the Hurtigruta. Hurtigruten. Hurtigruta. It's probably going, or probably, I know it's going into Geiranger. So it's coming out from Ålesund. And this is Storfjorden. So it's going into Geiranger. Over there, in there. And one of my favorite YouTubers, Steve Marsh, recently did the Hurtigruta tour. So if you want to see more of these fjords seen from this ferry, this boat, you should really watch his, I think it's 2 episodes on his channel, Steve Marsh, when he and his girlfriend goes into Geiranger, and they show a lot of scenes from these fjords. Now I can see that it's starting to kind of fog over, so I better hurry up. Finally, I am at the top. Oh, it's a bit wonky. So lovely. Hurtigruten down there. And this is where I'm gonna eat my lunch. And I haven't quite decided which way I'm gonna take down from the mountain. I will see with the fog and everything after I've eaten. If I'm gonna continue and walk down the mountain on the other side, then I will get down there where there are some grocery opportunities. So I think I will do some grocery shopping if I go over that route down, or I can retrace my steps and go down the same way. But I'm kind of worried about the steepest part when I don't have my hiking poles. I should have brought them. But now, hurry up, eat, drink, enjoy. thing about walking in areas like this, where you have family and relatives and ancestry from, actually back to the Viking age. A relative of mine do ancestry, research. So we have a lineage that he traced back to the Viking age, to around the year 800. And almost all of them on that lineage have lived in these mountains and fjords. So perhaps that's why I feel so much connected to it. And I even felt that connection long before I knew about the heritage line. Because this landscape just resonates very deep in me. This place holds so many memories and stories to me. Even this boathouse, or naust, that I slept in on this day, it was built by my grandfather, who was a commercial fisherman, before retiring and just having his own boat fishing salmon out in the fjord. In the summers I used to go with him and check the nets he had set out. This is where we played as small children, where we bathed in the summer and later on tried to get a suntan. So many lively summer parties were held in this boathouse, with bonfires right below, especially on midsummer and Olsok. Young and old across generations, and sometimes with neighbors or family friends who happened to bring an accordion. They were barbecuing, lots of good food and drinks, endless laughter and stories, often until the early morning light and the bonfire eventually died out. This is where all your worries and the outside world disappeared for a brief moment. And I am so grateful that I got to have a place like this. One day I also went out to Ålesund, a short bus ride away and one of my favorite cities in Norway, if not my very favorite, besides Oslo, of course. I have my own little rituals in Ålesund too. My favorite streets, buildings, places, vintage shops, and then of course going to Valaker bakery and get a skilpadde. Skilpadde is a speciality for Ålesund and the area around. I have never found skilpadde in any other part of Norway, but it is so delicious. It is sugar bread in the bottom and on top, with vanilla or egg cream in between, and then frosting on top. There is just something about this city that always has been so appealing to me. From the architecture to the very placement of the city center that is partly on a tiny island with the ocean all around. I love the concept of a city more or less placed directly in water for the elements to play with. A rugged little city where the ocean are calling all the shots when the weather turns. So unlike Oslo in comparison. You can hardly live any closer to the open sea and still be in a city than this. Ja, alt gammelt og artig.